Hey guys, Otaku All Pro here. I'm just doing another short video. It's kind of like a part 2 to my Thomas Asterisk interview video, in which I talk about the future Miraculous. The full Reddit link is going to be posted in the video description. If you don't remember, this is the interview where they talked about certain things about the show, such as Chloe in Season 6, or how Adrian is Ladybug's best guest star that isn't a main character. A lot of interesting things. I want to focus on certain things that were talked about in the interview, such as 12 seasons of the show, how scriptwriting has begun for like seasons 7 through 9, and how Zag is no longer involved with the Ladybug show, and other certain factors how I feel like is leading to possibly the future demise or the lower quality of Ladybug, how pretty much they might be taking on too much all of a sudden, and how I feel like that might affect the show. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is, in this video I want to talk about how I feel like Miraculous might be doing too much too soon. That might be a bad thing. Like, some of my concerns may be unwarranted. It's just that history has shown that when a studio takes on too much, it always ends up suffering in quality. But Otaku All Pro, it's possible that they could have brought in more workers and resources, and yes, that could happen, but it's the same studio that almost lost some of their voice actors just because they couldn't pay them or didn't want to, making money and resources for the studio a fair question, unless Season 5 went that crazy. Also, it's not that uncommon for networks to work on multiple shows. And just to let you know some of the things that they're working on. They're working on 12 seasons. They're working on seasons 7 through 9 of the show. Zag is no longer involved with the Ladybug show, which means all animation is done in-house. And so is story writing. The story Supreme is being finished or is written already. They're doing the Ladybug in Tokyo Africa specials right now because we've been shown pictures of them and given certain character names about them already, and certain other things such as a live action show. Also, even though Miraculous is a studio, it's not that uncommon for networks to work on multiple shows like a Disney or a Cartoon Network. The problem is Miraculous is a studio produced by a joint venture called Miraculous Corporation with help from Japanese anime studio Toei Animation, and the other half being the Miraculous Corp, which was founded by Jeremy Zag and Thomas Asterisk. A joint venture means parties pull their resources together and build a company up. This is the opposite of something like in the Cartoon Network studios, which is built by a company supporting them with billions of dollars in resources and infinite staff, and that's to at least be assumed because, you know, animation studios are suffering nowadays. Ladybug just doesn't have that. Like I said before, it had trouble paying their voice actors last season. An example of this happening of a studio taking on too much is seen with anime studios, which Toei, if you remember, helped produce the show, is an anime studio. Toei is famous for producing shows such as Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z, and other action shows like One Piece. For anime studios, it's not that uncommon for bigger anime studios to be working on multiple shows for a given season, but more times than not, I would argue it doesn't work out. A perfect example of this would actually be doing the fall 2021 to winter 2022 anime season, with what some would call the greatest anime studio right now, MAPPA. MAPPA would actually be making 2 animes at the same time. And like I said, this is not uncommon for anime studios to do. Usually the A team works on one anime and the other team works on a different anime, usually the B team. It's usually fine since the second anime isn't usually well known, so having MAPPA B team, which is better than most studios, is a fine thing. But something interesting happened. Instead of doing a well-known anime and not so well-known, they chose 2 juggernauts in JJK and Attack on Titan. What made it worse was Attack on Titan just left Wit Studio, which was also hitting Attack on Titan out of the park. So fall season 2021 starts, JJK is hitting out of the park. Attack on Titan will actually premiere later that season. Attack on Titan then premieres, and let's just say there's a drop from Wit Studio. The drop being as deep as the Grand Canyon, just saying. They didn't have enough resources for both Attack on Titan, and they had to suffer because of it. Anime studios are known for completing the anime at all costs, no matter what it does to the workers, and quality will suffer because of it. What worries me is the same thing might happen to Miraculous due to the anime studio influences and lack of budget, as mentioned before with the voice actors. Just to re-mention it, Miraculous is working on the Supreme storyline, kept animation in-house instead of shipping it out now, working on specials Rio de Janeiro and Tokyo at the same time, writing season 7 through 9, and apparently Thomas is meeting to do a live action version of Ladybug. This is just a lot to do, especially at a company that has a joint venture, which means all resources come from in-house and not backed up from a company. One example of the show doing too much that actually ended up hurting Ladybug was actually doing arguably season 3. Season 3 is, if you ask a lot of Miraculous fans, is probably their least favorite season, and maybe the worst, in my opinion. The show was also working on both the Lady Dragon specials and the New York specials at the same time with season 3. You could theoretically argue this hurt the season 3 quality, but I'm not in the room, so I can't say for sure. Like I said, Miraculous Corporation can bring in new talent, but now they're talking about possibly other things like spin-offs or crossovers, such as with Ghost Force for the show. It just seems like a lot. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Short-term videos posted bi-weekly Friday 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern, and thank you.